Boys. You know, I was just talking to a couple of preachers out there in front a while ago. Reminded me I live down just about 10, 15 miles south of Atlanta now in a little town down there called Stockbridge. We had a new preacher came into town about a month ago, I guess. Young feller, took over church down there. Got a beautiful young wife. And one day, one of the older preachers that had been there for a good while decided he was going towards town there. He went past this young preacher's house, and this young preacher's wife was out in the yard mowing the lawn. She was riding a John Deere tractor in a bikini. And you know, the old preacher drove around the block 4 times to looking at her to make sure she was riding a John Deere.
I never thought he'd get to this, Eddie.
I never did. George, a lot of water's run over the dam since then, hasn't it?
A lot of other things, too. When you get my age, water is spraying at the strangest times, I tell you. You got no control over water now.
And you know, with mine and your age, you look at Ace. Ace is almost...
I can't imagine being that old.
I can't either, but you know, in about another 10 years, me and you both gonna be there.
And let me tell you what happened to a little church we worked at. Somebody says, this is fine. I said, hey, I'm going into the 80s. I don't see too well. I got AIDS, they're in my ears. I said,
well, thank the Lord, brother. That's a pretty good testimony.
My mind wanders a little bit. I can't sing, and I can't dance. I'm too old to work, but I sure do look good.
I don't think he meant that sound way it come out there.
It's pretty good testimony, Ed. That's the first time I ever heard you testify in my life.
Yeah. Talking about testifying, we were talking about preachers a minute ago. There's 3 preachers was out fishing one day, and one of them, you know, they got talking about everything in the world. One preacher turned to the other, and he says, you know, he said, I'd like to tell y'all something. He said, I don't tell this to too many people, but he said, I do have a problem with one thing. Other preacher says, what's that? He said, there's a lot of good-looking ladies in my church, and he said, they just drive me crazy. He said, pretty women is my downfall. And so the preacher spoke up, and he said, well, I guess we all have problems. He said, years ago, he said, I was an alcoholic, and he said, I have trouble handling alcohol. He said, I still, every once in a while, I get a craving to drink, but he said, I don't drink anymore. But he said, I guess we all have a problem like that. And they turned to that other preacher and said, do you have a problem? What's your problem? He said, gossiping. And he said, I can't wait to get to a telephone. Here's one called, I Want a Girl Just Like the Girl That Mom Found a Picture of in Dad's Billfold. Tall timbers calling and the echoes ring. All nature sings a song along the timber trail. Blue shadows falling down the canyon vale, while the whispering pines entwine along the timber trail. High in the sky above, the love song of the trees will win and blend. That's way out on the breeze. Tall timbers calling and the echoes ring. All nature sings a song along the timber trail. Over mountains high and the canyon wide, let me dream and ride for timber when the day is done and the campfire's gleam. Let me ride and dream of timber high and the sky above, the love song of the trees will win and win. That's way out on the breeze. Tall timbers calling, and the echoes ring. All nature sings a song along the timber trail. Timber,
Thank you.
This